you like my new wire management clips?
I like it.
These are pretty cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
These are saving zip ties that used to be sacrificed to hold things temporarily.
All right, I'm ready. Hey guys, Jason with Fender Garage, and we're doing a little follow-up video on electrical wiring. And so right here, what we have is a wiring harness that's been 95% ready to go and put underneath the dash of a pickup truck. So we use an all-American auto wire Highway 22 Plus anytime we're doing a coyote swap. Restoration, if I'm doing a restoration and everything's going to be period correct, then I'm probably going to do the classic update. But if I'm doing just a general coyote swap and everything's going to be different, I want to have the luxury of using their Highway 22 Plus circuit board, fuses, relays, where everything is labeled, and we're able to go through and also relabel these and bring the wires into this and have them all labeled. So you can kind of check that out, how that works. But all this has been integrated. So all the wiring has been laid out under the dash. So as you can see, we can actually take it out, connect it back together, and make it all work. So right up here, we've got all this stuff that's going to go out front, ready to go. Our dome lights all ready to go. Our courtesy lights under the dash. These are all of our ground wires. So all the ground wires that are needed for the entire system all merged together in one location. We've got our VaporWorks module. We got some parts that go to the Ford Racing control pack. Who knows what that is. This is the harness that goes to the rear. And then we also have dimmer switches. We've got wiper. You see everything's labeled. Lights. And this is our ignition switch. So everything's ready to go. We've also got our TAC module, our Restomod Air. Everything's ready to be hooked up. A few little wires. And then we've got some parts that go down to the transmission for reverse and neutral safety switch. And then we've got this right here. It says 804 on it. Obviously it's red, so it looks like a power wire. And you can open it up and see that he's got that, man, he's got that wrapped in there good. But he's got that one red wire in there. That red wire, so the question is, what is an 804 wire? Well, if you look right here, this is a power distribution wire for our Highway 22. And so everything we do is labeled so we know what we're doing ahead of time before we actually get started. So all of this is kind of the how-to. We keep adding and adding and adding. So if we add another module or something in addition, we put it up here, we determine how that's going to be wired into the vehicle so that we can actually, you know, plan this out ahead of time. Now there's a lot of things maybe we don't need that's on the board, and so we just kind of take that out, but the initial wiring, how it all goes together, is completely laid out, organized, ready to go, so that every time we get ready to wire up a truck, we've spent a day planning it all out. And that day, sometimes two, planning everything out, getting everything laid out, how it's going to go into the truck, makes a huge difference in the end on how well everything's going to function. So it's been something where we've worked really hard to fine-tune that process to make sure it's as clean as we can. Now, we're always learning. We come up with some different ways to do things easier, quicker. But as you take a look, everything's been really designed to have the least amount of relays possible. And so we use this relay here, this relay here. We don't necessarily need a fan relay, which this one will have. We'll actually repurpose it for something else, because on the Ford Racing control pack, it actually has a fan relay built into it. Along with the air conditioning, we've got fan relays built into that. So a nice, clean, simple setup, works really well, and real happy with how everything turns out. In the end, we'll put some loom on here as this all gets finalized under the dash, but everything will have a place to go and mount and be super tidy and clean. Again, hopefully easy to in and out, disconnect it if we ever had to take something out and fix it. And so a lot of work goes into it. You look at this, there might be, you know, a week's worth of work that goes into this getting organized and dialed in so that the in and out and the ease of it works. And so also if there's ever a concern or a question on how it was wired up or how actually it was laid out in the vehicle, he can actually go to the board and find out, well, he can see how all this works and goes together. So super cool. I like the way it comes together. You know, we've got just everything has, if we're doing a certain Spall fans, you can see that we've got part numbers and how many volts and amps that they go on them. But every board has usually a couple things double-sided, helps keep us on track, and I think this is the right way to do it. We're definitely making some headway, and I'm definitely happy with how it's turning out. So follow along. This is going to go in this truck probably on Monday, and then from here it's just hooking up like a dozen wires and it's ready to fire up. So pretty easy process once you get to that point. Thanks for watching.